E1. The white king is on E3 and the black king is on D6. Checkmate with one rook. Checkmate with one rook. Let me know if all of you are ready. We can start. Please keep this position on the board. So you'll practice along with me.
We are ready, sir.
Okay.
Ready, sir.
Yeah. Okay. As I mentioned, so here it's a little more difficult than what we have learned with checkmate with
2 rooks. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही राजेश जी.
hello.
हाँ,
Did we
अभी
learn
आई.
with Did we learn with queen also last time? Checkmate
Yes.
with queen. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So right now this is a little more tougher. Okay, but the same principle applies. Okay. So just observe what am I doing. So you can practice along with me first. Understand the pattern, and then I'll ask if you have any doubts. So as I
Okay.
mentioned, the rook is on E1. The white rook is on E1. The white king is on E3, and the black king is on D6. D for Delhi, D6.
Yes.
White to play. Okay. So white to play. So what will white do? White will try to
Rook
get
will
a
come to
position.
D1.
Pardon
Okay.
me?
Oh. Okay. You are moving king. Okay.
Rook is on E1, and the white king is on E3.
E3.
From E3, we are moving it to D4.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Fine. Is it clear? From
Yes.
E3, we are doing to D4, and then
Black to move.
black to. So what will black and play? Black can play this. Let's say it goes to which square?
C6.
C6. Calcutta, C6.
Hmm.
Okay. So what should we do here is that we should bring a rook.
Rook to C1.
No.
No.
We can bring to rook to
E7.
C1 also, but better. Better is this one.
E7.
E6.
E6. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
The black king goes to D7. Okay. So what we do? We push our king to D5. We push our king to D5.
No.
If you observe the pattern, we are trying to coordinate both the pieces, the rook and the king, and try to make that squares, the wall smaller. And we
Yes.
are trying to bring the black king to the corner of the board.
Yes.
Same pattern. So
Hmm.
here if you see, the white king goes to C7. King goes to C7. What we'll do? We have brought a rook to D6.
Okay.
The white king goes to B7. See here, we are coordinating both the pieces.
Yes.
C5. The black king is not going to the corner. See here, what does the black king do? It comes to C7. So we should play a waiting move. A waiting move so that we get the benefit. Waiting move. What is a waiting move? We are not allowing the king to break away. Okay. So what we do from D7, we are coming back to D1.
Okay.
The king goes to b7. We go to d7 and give a check. I hope all of you are playing with me on the.
Yes. Yes.
Very important to play on the board.
Yes, sir.
King to c8. See here, I'm slowly pushing my king also.
But Rajesh, the king, what if the king goes to A7?
Ah, if the king goes to a7 also, no, the king can't go to
Can't
a7
go.
because we have a rook on d7. No, sir.
No, no, so, no, the rook is on, sorry, 6. What I mean is A6.
Ah, no, but we had
King.
our king on
No, our king was on C5, right?
correct.
So if the black king goes on
See here.
A6 from here, it goes
Ah,
to A6.
a6 you mean to say.
Yeah.
Let's say if it goes to a6, what I'll do, I'll try to bring the rook here.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of possibilities here. The idea,
Hmm.
yeah, let us try to understand
Hmm.
of square. So I'll bring it here.
No,
Let's say,
what I'm trying to say is instead of the king trying to go into the corner, it can come down. It can come down.
yes, it can come down and see here. If it comes down, I'll give a checkmate like this.
Yes.
Hmm.
What
Now
happens if
it is
it comes down?
now it is a checkmate. Yes.
Yes. What the idea is that the king will give an opposition to the black king and the rook can give a checkmate.
Hmm. Okay. Now you please go ahead with your.
Try to go to opposite side.
Yeah, please go ahead with your move.
Okay. So let's say again we'll take, okay, so let's say we were in rook d1, the black king goes here, and we bring our rook to d7. The black king goes to c8.
Hmm.
We bring our king to c6. The black king goes to b8. Slowly we give a check. d8 comes over here. I play a waiting move. When it comes down, sir, see when it comes down here,
I'll give it to you.
I get the opposition. Once I get the opposition, okay, it comes in opposition with my white king, I can deliver the checkmate.
Hmm.
Little tricky. You have to be very careful here. If one wrong move, and it can be a stalemate.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
No, in other checkmates, we'll again go back to the position. Okay. See what does the black play? Black goes to
C6.
c6. What do? We bring our rook to which square? e6. Check. So what happens because of this? Either it can go to, let's say it goes to, instead of d7, it goes to this square. Which is the available square?
B5.
b5. So what should we do here? Let's say last time we had seen the pattern, it goes to d7, right? And we are dead. So what should we do here?
Move the
Correct.
king.
Move the
No.
rook to Waiting move. Move the waiting move, rook to g6. When the king comes over here, I give a check. What happens? The black king will try to attack my rook. I'll also push my king. When it comes down, I have to again play a waiting move. The king can't break the A file, isn't it? So what should I try to do? I should try to get the opposition to the black king. And once I get this opposition to the black king, I deliver the checkmate. Is the pattern getting clearer now?
Yes.
Little tricky. It is not like the other simple ones. Little tricky. But the pattern is try to cut the squares. Okay, try to get the opposition to the black king and then deliver this checkmate.
Which move creates a stalemate?
Any bad move can, let's say, I'll try to show that, sir. Let's say, an interesting question. I'll try to show that. Okay. Let's say I try to play something. I need to really play very bad for that. Let's say I do this. Okay. For that, I have to start playing little bad. I have to be, okay. I'm trying to create a stalemate position. Okay. Where it can happen that, here, if I don't play properly, the king will come down. It will start being elusive.
Asta peta ही बैठी है सर तुम्हारी peta ही बैठी है
If I and it's quite possible that when there's no check to the king,
Yeah.
see here. Now, sir,
Yeah. Understood. Stalemate here.
now what will happen? The right move here is, what do I do? Rook f8.
Yeah, rook
F8.
on 8th rank. Rook on
Rook
8th
on 8,
rank.
right. But I don't play that. What will happen? Let's say I'll do something like this. What is, instead of rook f8, I'll bring my rook to
G7.
g7. Okay. Something like that. Okay. If I bring to the rook to g7, okay. or so it could be quite possible that, see, again I do here. So what will happen is that the checkmate will not. So if the as it says, stalemate is what, when there is no check to the king.
Yes.
So the right move over there was rook f8. If I don't do the rook f8, it will not be a checkmate. It's quite possible in this game also, like this also, I can sometimes do blunders like this and
Yeah.
lose a rook. So both the kings, if it's there till the last, it's a draw.
Yeah.
So here one has to be very careful that, as you've seen here, rook f8 was the right answer. We can enter into some position like that in the end game, that we are not able to deliver the check to the opposition king, and the king has no space to move.
Rajesh ji, I want to ask you, when two kings are left on the board, that is also a draw?
It's a draw. This
Oh,
position is
okay.
a draw.
Okay.
The black king has captured the rook, it's a draw. So, ma'am, you can write down the draw by insufficient material. There's something known as draw by insufficient material. If you have a king and a bishop, you can write down, or should I put in the chat, king and bishop versus king?
Please put down in the chart.
Chat. Okay, I'll put it in the chat. King and bishop versus king. King and bishop versus king. Or king and knight versus king is draw by insufficient material.
King and bishop
Versus king. I have a white
versus
king, I have a white bishop, and opposition has only black king. I can't do a checkmate.
Okay, and another one?
King and knight versus king. I put in the chat, ma'am.
Okay.
King and knight versus king is by
Is
insufficient
also a
material.
draw.
Yeah. Would you like to want to practice this once again, or should I take the next one?
Yeah, you take the next one.
Yeah. All of you are clear? Any doubts? Please ask me. Any doubts?
If king and bishop or king and knight are there, both the parties will agree to a draw.
Yes. Very king and bishop versus king and knight is also a draw by insufficient. It's not difficult. It's not possible. I
So
can't
they
think
will
of
agree.
any position like that where you can get a win.
Checkmate.
Okay.
Because no, both are the minor pieces, sir.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you know, sir, king, if you have a king and bishop and knight, king, bishop, and knight versus king, that is possible, but it's very, very difficult. Sometimes even grandmasters are not able to convert that win.
Or with a pawn also. Knight
King
and pawn.
no, king and pawn is possible. I will come to the king and pawn, sir. A very interesting question. We'll come to that. It also depends where the king is. King is below the pawn or above the pawn. Depends upon that. I'll just stop 1 minute, sir. I'll just stop sharing. I'll take to the next one. We'll go now to the next one, sir. That is I'll teach you right now. I'll teach you right now with the pawn end games. As you rightly mentioned, king and pawn versus king, right? We'll learn that. King and pawn versus king. Is it visible to everybody?
Yes.
Now this is a position. Okay. The white king is on which square?
E3.
E3. The white king is on E3. Pawn is on
C1,
C2,
C2.
C2,
C2.
C2,
C2 and the black king is on
B5.
B5.
I would request all of you to keep this position and it is white to play. Black king on B5. The pawn is on C2. The white king is on E3. White to play. So now if this in this position, we have to play well to convert to a win. Now this is very important. Right now what I few sessions of mine is pawn end games. I'll be teaching you pawn end games and we'll learn also a little bit about tactics in our next sessions. So right now we have we have one pawn. We are trying to convert into a win. So what do you feel we should do here? What should white play here?
White should move the
King.
king
Wish.
to D4.
Exactly.
White king.
Correct. White king should move the king to D4. Then
D4.
the black king has gone to C6.
So now the pawn can come out two squares.
One.
C4.
C4.
Instead of C4, sir, we should always try to put our king before the pawn. Like this.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just show you the pattern. All of you just pay attention on the board and we'll practice it. Okay. See the pattern here. Now the black king has gone to B6. Okay. What we'll do? We'll try to get that opposition. See, if I do a bad mistake like this, what will happen? It will not work. So here again, I have to be careful. See here. So what was the best thing here? If I played this, I should move my king to the, okay. So let's say I'll just retry again. The idea is we should bring a king like this, get the opposition. Okay. Then
Pawn. Pawn to C4.
pawn. Pawn we can pawn. So if you play C, pawn to C4, what happens? Doesn't work. So what was the best thing here? Best was C3. Okay, or we could have moved this. Right? So again, I'll just show you what are the mistakes we are doing. Okay. Okay. Now see. we can bring our king. Try to bring the king as far as possible. Okay, and then what we'll do? We'll bring a c4. c5. Get the opposition. Now what happens? Now what can you suggest what we'll play here?
Pawn to c6.
Go to
Pawn to c6.
C,
Correct. c6, c7, and we can promote. See here. Once I reach the 8th rank,
Yeah,
the
we
white
can
pawn on the
take queen.
8th rank or
We'll
the
take
black
queen.
pawn on the, yeah, you can make a convert to a queen. See here. And then afterwards, you all know that it is checkmate with queen.
Correct.
We'll practice
Wonderful.
it again because it's
Wonderful.
a little tough. No, this requires a lot of practice. All of you again keep this so that we'll understand. The pawn is on second rank c2, 3, and the black king is on b5. So can we start?
Yeah.
Again, the opposition, we'll try to get the opposition. Isn't it? Try to bring the king to this square. Which square? d6. And once I get that, what I'll do? I'll try to push my pawn from c2 to c4. Once I do that, again what I'll do? c4 to c5. Then I'll bring my king from d6 to c6. c6 to b7, trying to create space for that white pawn. Slowly push the white pawn. c6, c7.
Just a minute. Acha, okay, okay, okay. It cannot. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Correct.
Got it.
Got it. Would you like to practice? I would request all of you will practice it once again because what this is very important. There is a lot of pawn practices we'll do. Okay, in the next few classes also because see what is important in any game. Whenever we learn chess, when we understand the basic of chess is your end games. Your end games is very important because at that I had might have a rook or we might have a single pawn or we might have with small resources we need to know how to convert into a win. So what we'll do is we'll try to understand a lot of endgame patterns. So right now I'm teaching you king and pawn endgames. Okay. So we are already learned with rook. How can we do a checkmate with rook? How we can do a checkmate with queen? How we can do a checkmate with two rooks? Normally checkmate with two rooks until unless the opponent is very weak, that position is very difficult to get. This is very common. You have an extra pawn versus your opponent. You need to know how to convert this to a win. Having huge advantage over opponent is only possible when your opponent is very, very weak compared to you in chess. And normally when you have your strength is nearly equal to that of your opponent, it goes to an end game and it might be only a difference of one. At that time, we should know how to convert to a win. So can we practice it once again, please? So what
Yes.
do we play here? I need answers here. So what should we play?
Sir, can you give some different position now?
Yeah, I will give, ma'am. I'm giving right now. I want to practice this and then I'm going to the third position.
Okay.
I want
Okay.
this to be clear to everybody. That's why I'm making it practice again and again. So if and if you can, if I'm sure that all of you are clear with this position, I'll go to the next position. Can you tell me what should we play here?
D4.
D4, okay. Then what should I play here? The black king has gone to
T4.
C6.
C4.
C4, okay. Okay. Next. What should I play here? The black king has gone to B6.
B4.
D5.
D5, exactly. D5. Then
Then pawn
Then
up.
pawn will
pawn
go
up
to
to
C4.
E4, pawn to C4.
oh, see, pawn was not C4 here. What was the thing we need to play here? We had to get the opposition here. We had to bring our king before the pawn.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say I'll again do. Okay. Try to get the opposition here. Then again, king ahead. We have to bring our king to the 6th rank. Once I bring the king to, this is the pattern you have to understand. Once I bring my king to the 6th rank. So if you see here, the king is a very active piece in an end game. The king is a very active piece in an end game. When I bring my king to the 6th rank, that is when I start pushing my pawn.
Hmm.
Okay, because the king is then forced to go back. It can't come in front.
Exactly. It is forced to go back. Otherwise, it will not happen.
Hmm.
See here, sir. Now I'm getting space. Now what should I play? If you remember the pattern, what should I play here? The black king D8,
King to D6.
not D6, sir. Not we did not play D6 here.
B6.
7th rank. We moved our king to 7th rank. Which was that square?
B.
Yeah, B for Bombay, B7. As I mentioned, your king is very active piece in an end game. The black king comes to D7 and slowly will start pushing
Pawn
our
will
pawn.
go to, yes.
Exactly. 5, 5th rank, 6th rank, and 7th rank,
Queen.
and 8th
Queen.
rank. When I bring, I can promote into a queen. So if you see here, you can under promote also a piece. A knight, rook, and bishop. Can you tell me when do we under promote a piece? Any idea?
When you
Krishna Kumar sir?
Knight and bishop here.
No, bishop. Not here I'm talking. Sometimes we need to under promote also. Sometimes.
when you can do a checkmate.
Ah. Sometimes what will happen, bringing a queen might bring about a stalemate position. At that time, you need to under promote. So normally what people do at that time, instead of a queen, they bring in a rook. Under promotion is done primarily to avoid stalemate. Remember that.
Okay.
If you want, you can write down under promotion is done. Under promotion of piece is done to avoid a stalemate.
But why do you think there will be a stalemate if there is queen and pawn both?
No. I'm not talking about this position, sir. Some other positions.
Uh,
Okay, there could be a position where if I
Queen.
So that I under promote. Why I under promote? I under promote to avoid a stalemate position. I'm under promoting my piece to avoid a stalemate position. And as we always remember, how it's the easy way. Checkmate means what? I have to give a check. Check means what? It's an attack on the king. Checkmate. Check यानी attack on the king. Stalemate में क्या होता है? Stalemate में there is no check, no attack on the king, and the opponent king has no place to move.
No
Yeah.
option, no square left to move.
No squares to move. Yeah. ये बहुत clear होना है ना जरूरी है. Checkmate or stalemate. Am I clear? Can we go to the next position, sir?
Yeah.
Pawn on third rank.
Yes, yes.
Okay. See here. Next, can you keep it on the board? Pawn on third rank. The white king is on B3.
E3.
Yeah. B for Bombay, B3. Pawn is on C3. And the black king is on E8.
8.
Okay. The black king is on E8.
But usually the pawn, when it makes a move, it will make the first move with 2 blocks. Why in this case it is on 3?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
1 or 2.
1 or 2. Right, ma'am.
No, those options I know that it is 1 or 2, but why when it can move for 2?
No, but then this is the position given on the board. It had already moved a long back.
And we have reached an endgame position where
Mhm.
the pawn
Okay,
might have put just one
Okay,
square.
this is the end game position. That's all.
Endgame
But
position.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Initially, when the move takes place, usually it will be 2. Yeah, please go ahead, Rajesh. Yeah.
Yeah. There are some situations where, you know, they can only just move one move ahead.
Correct.
Okay, white to move. White to move. What do you think we should play here? All
Sir,
of you,
we will,
please keep it on a board. Huh? I request all of you to practice along with me on board. And if I'm going fast, please let me know.
sir, we will move queen to C4.
It is queen.
King to C4.
King to C. Sorry. King to C4.
Okay. Then what do we play here? Next.
Black. No.
The black has moved to which square?
D8. D8.
D8. D for Delhi, D8.
Yeah.
So what should we move here?
Again, we can take king to white king to C5.
Sorry. So I missed out on that. Huh? Again. So what we do? It just, you know, mouse slip. So what was the first move we played?
C4.
C4.
Okay, C4, and then what was the next move?
Now we can take it to
C5.
D.
Then what do we play next? So where is black now? Black is on D7. If you remember the same pattern like we did on second rank, what should we do? We
B6.
should try to break the king
B6.
to
Black will go to C8.
no
B6.
B6. We are trying to create a space for our pawn to move.
Now the pawn will move.
Now
Simple. Now the pawn will move. Now we don't have to worry about anything. We just have to move the pawn. Okay. Again, see here. We have to be careful here. Get that opposition. See, get the opposition. And when the king goes to this corner, we have to move to the which corner? Opposite corner of the black king. Okay. So that we create space for a pawn to move, and then we can promote it to a queen.
Queen.
Request we'll practice it again. Any doubts, please feel free to ask me. I'll go very slow because I want know whatever has been perfect in it.
Okay.
And believe me, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Chess is the most fun. And whenever all of you get time, you can invite each other and start playing game of chess. It'll be great fun. And we'll also keep a tournament during last. I'll organize a tournament, and it will be great fun. Just wanted to know, all of you are enjoying chess?
Yes, very much.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, yeah.
and in the tournament, it will be only end the game or throughout the game, full game.
No, full game. We'll have a tournament, when we learn everything. We still have a long way to go. We are only on the 5th session.
Hmm.
Okay. So we'll be learning pawn and we'll be learning some tactics. And
Yes.
I'll show you an entire game how it has to be played. So there is a lot chess. There is a lot of learning material. Actually, right now we are only learning the basic beginners level only.
Rajesh, normally in 10 moves only you finish. That only I'm wondering how.
Ma'am, this is a position of end game.
But
Ma'am,
is
this is a position of end game.
true.
And from here, I am trying to convert to a win.
Okay.
This is the end game position. We have played the game starting opening, middle game, both the sides lost their pieces, and now the white has only one extra pawn.
True, very true.
And we are trying to convert to a win. So what we are learning right now, okay, we learned on second, pawn on second rank, pawn on third rank right now. We are trying to learn how to convert into win in end game.
Rajesh,
When we have one extra pawn.
Rajesh, Miruna here.
Huh.
Can Black King not win in this position of the board?
Sorry.
Black king cannot
It
win.
has
Can't
no
run,
support.
It does not
Because,
have any. It does not have any material. No.
Yes.
How
yeah,
it will win?
acha, that's why.
The black
So
king to win has
to
to have some
win,
material.
yeah, to win, you need to have at least one piece more.
One
Yes.
piece, and that see bishop or knight is
Will
insufficient.
not will be insufficient.
So we
Pawn
should
or
have
rook.
at least pawn,
Pawn, knight,
rook, yeah,
queen.
pawn, rook, queen. Minimum
Okay,
one pawn is required to win.
okay.
Ah. So if you have a bishop and knight here, if that it is not sufficient to win.
When bishop and a
But if you have
knight,
two bishops and two knights, it's possible. Two knights more tricky.
Rajesh,
Ah.
bishop and knight you said are minor pieces. Rook is a major piece. What about pawn? What it is called?
Pawn is we don't talk it. No, it's not a piece, ma'am. Pawn is a soldier, Aam Aadmi.
Okay.
Like all of us, it's an Aam Aadmi.
Hmm.
Significance only when it reaches the opponent's 8th rank.
Eighth rank.
8th rank. जब 8th rank में पहुंचता है white, तो we can promote it to a piece or black का first rank में. Okay, ma'am, clear? Any doubts now? Anybody
No.
has any doubts?
No.
Let's start again. All of you will help me. White to play. What will white play here as white?
We will move
King to c4.
to
E4.
C4.
King to
C4.
C4. Then
Then C5.
C5. Okay. Same pattern. If you remember, I told that we have to push our king to the 6th rank.
Yeah.
So where we'll take the king now?
B6.
B6. B6.
Exactly. Very good. Very good. Understand this pattern. एक बार ये पैटर्न समझ में आ गया ना,
E3.
आप एक पोजीशन देखोगे ना, तो आपको मालूम है कि कैसे कन्वर्ट करना है विन.
Simple.
Now it is all about
Pawn.
Pawn.
pawn. Correct. Simple. अभी क्या करना है? The black
We
king
have
has
to
gone
bring
to
white king will come to C6.
C6. Exactly. Opposition to the black king. And now the black king has gone to D8. So मैंने क्या बताया था यहाँ पे? What should I play? My king should go same side or opposite side?
No, opposite
Same
side.
side, same.
Opposite
No,
side.
opposite
B7.
side. Opposite side for
Up.
B7, so that I can create space for my
Pawn.
white pawn.
Pawn.
Upgrading.
Then I'll start pushing my pawn, and it becomes a.
Queen.
Anyone has any doubts? Pawn on third rank. If it is not, then we can go to pawn on fourth rank. Anybody? Please let me know. Even if there is one single person who has doubt, I'll again repeat it. Because I want all of you to be,
A small question.
Yeah, ma'am.
White king, why it has to be pushed up instead of that to clear the route for pawn? Why can't we bring it down somewhere? The king,
Pawn
white
cannot
king,
go
white
backward.
king. Huh?
Pawn cannot go backward.
No, not pawn. I can bring the. I want to clear space for pawn. So for which I try to push that white king up and up
Then
so as to
no, we want to push.
making the rank higher and higher. Instead
Then
of why can't I just push down the
No.
white king?
No.
If I get your question right, ma'am, if I only push the pawn, what will happen? The black king will
King
come and
will-
capture the pawn.
Yes.
Oh, it's more of a protection. Okay.
Exactly. I need to protect it.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody has any doubts? The pawn on fourth rank. Any doubts? Second
No
and
doubt.
third rank. Good. Okay. So let's go pawn on fourth rank. White to play. What will white play here?
White
E6.
will.
White will go to D6. Exactly. See here. As I mentioned, king is a very active piece. It has gone to D6. What will and the black king has gone to which square?
B7.
B7.
D7. Yeah. So what do you think we should play here?
The pawn.
Pawn will
Oh, exactly. I've come to the sixth rank. When the king comes to the sixth rank, now it is a major advantage for the white king now. And now what has happened? Why do you think so? The black king has gone to it.
Rajesh, your voice is very low.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Why you think the black king has gone to C8? What will happen if it goes to A8 and all?
to get cornered.
No, if it goes to the corner, no, it will be easy for my pawn to make a queen. So what the opponent is doing, opponent by bringing the king on C8, it is trying to block the pawn from becoming a queen.
Queen.
But how long it
It
can
is trying
block?
to block the pawn. Yeah, exactly. So what should we play here as white?
C6. C6.
No. We will take it
The
to
pawn.
E7. White king will E7.
No.
Shen.
Yes.
Okay, then what do I play here?
B7.
What was the thing I told? The king has gone to D8. So where
Yeah,
will
we
we
will
go?
We will take king to B7.
B7.
Correct. Opposite.
B.
Opposite side of the black king.
Yes.
Then
Yes. Now pawn will come to C7. C6.
correct.
Pawn
C6.
C6.
Now we just have to push the
Pawn.
pawn and it becomes a queen.
Queen.
Fort itself.
Would you want to practice the fourth rank once again?
I think enough.
It is enough for all of you? Or if you
Yes.
want, we'll do it once again so that everybody is clear. Simple. Again, I'll just, I'll take a quick practice. Anybody has any doubts can ask me. What should we do? We should try to make our king active. And once we do here, see here. Try to go at the opposition to the black king. And here what we should do? In the seventh, we should go opposite side to the black king. And then slowly
Passage for
push start pushing our pawn to make it a
queen.
No, when you made this particular move, Rajesh, just take the
which
just
one,
make those
sir?
moves again. I have a question. Just make these moves again. I'll tell you
Okay,
to
which
stop.
one?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Make the move.
Yeah, you tell me, so what should we play here?
No. You make the same move that you made just now. I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay. What did we do? We tried to create an opposition, right?
Yeah.
Then we try to create a pawn.
Uh,
We create an opposition to the black king.
yeah.
Then what did we do? We are going to the opposite side of the black king.
Right.
Ah.
Now hold on. Hang on. Now, if we move the pawn one step up, that is to c6. That is what you did, right?
Yes.
No, if you take it to c6,
Ah.
the king cannot attack the pawn.
No.
There is a
cross.
king
King
there.
missing
No?
other
Another
king.
king
Other
is
king
there.
is there.
That is a support we are giving. No, sir, we can't capture. The king can't. We learned,
the
if you
king.
remember, the king can't be in the front of the king. That is illegal. It's not acceptable.
No. Can come again. Just go back to the same move. Just go back.
King can't capture the pawn.
Because
Well, just a minute.
it
Just a
will
minute.
come.
Let Rajesh answer. Let Rajesh answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
The king can't capture the pawn here, sir, because the white king is on b7. It is illegal to capture the pawn.
Because the king cannot come in front of each other. That's why.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead.
That is illegal. As we
Okay.
learned, there has to be a one square space between the kings.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the reason here.
That was my question. Okay.
Yeah. So then it is simple. Now you're clear, na? So
Yeah.
we just
Now
push
I'm
a pawn and make a queen. We'll do one last one right now. We are just 5 minutes left around. Pawn on fifth rank. Pawn on fifth rank. What do you think we should play here? Pawn on fifth rank.
Take the king to a7, a6.
Yeah, anybody else? What do you feel? What should we play here?
Sir,
Not A6.
white king will go to c5. c5.
6. Already the pawn is there on C5.
C6.
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 c6, I mean.
Yes. Then what should we play here?
To B7. The king, white king to B7.
Yes. What should we play here?
No?
I'm bringing my king to
So the pawn will go up.
B7.
b7.
Pawn will just go up. And I'll make a.
Queen.
This is
Was
a pattern समझ लीजिए. तो whether it is second rank, third rank, fourth rank, fifth rank, आपको अगर ये pattern आ गया, so you need to just follow the pattern and you'll get a win. Any doubts?
Very clear.
Pawn on sixth rank. We have few minutes. Let's do this. Pawn on sixth rank also. Now what we'll play? Let's try to find out what we'll play here. What should white play here?
B7 king. No.
Yeah.
Oh, king to A7.
King to
King to
A7.
no.
Right.
King to A7. It will be difficult. We
It will
lose the
be
pawn.
checkmate. We will.
We have to push the pawn here.
Okay, so that the king cannot take the pawn.
Correct. Then what do we do here?
Then the pawn goes up.
No, we can't.
C, C. C
It
will
will capture the pawn. We have to support the pawn.
promote the
King-
pawn. On to C8.
Pawn to C8, the king will capture C8.
The white
King to
To
king to
C8,
7.
king will capture C8.
No protection.
King to B7.
Correct. King to B7 is
King up. C7. B7.
then we
Then the
make
pawn.
Yeah, it becomes a queen.
Yes.
the queen.
King cannot capture laterally, is it?
It can.
It can't do that. See,
No.
let's say, for example, no, I did not get your question, sir. Let the
King-
pawn on.
Why was the
Pawn-
pawn the pawn not be captured when it was beside the king here?
Yes,
The
here you
white
are.
king.
It
Why?
can't capture, no, because of again the same thing.
Same reason. Okay.
Same thing. The king can't capture the pawn
Okay.
because
Protection.
there is a
Okay.
king on B6.
Yeah. Right. Got it.
Rajesh,
Ah,
Rajesh, please show these moves again when the pawn is on sixth rank. Please, once again, you
yeah,
show.
yeah. Once again, I'll show you, ma'am. We
Yeah,
are going to the sixth rank.
yeah.
I know you can practice along with me. So, what should we play here as white? Tell me, ma'am.
Um,
We pushed our
white
pawn. We pushed our pawn to which square?
C7.
Exactly, C7. The
Huh.
black king has come to D7. So, what should we play here?
Take the promote.
White,
No.
white.
B7.
No.
A-
White.
King.
No,
No,
king.
king.
King, you white king.
Correct.
B7.
Correct. King to B7. And then
Now we promote the pawn.
promote the pawn and make it a queen.
queen.
Okay.
Clear? Any doubts here?
No.
No. Fine.
Okay. So, think so we can end here. Any doubts? So right now, I will be going to native place. Once I'm back from native place in month of June, I'll let know the date. We'll start our class again. I request all of you to practice. Any doubts? Please feel free to come. In the next session, I'll clarify all the doubts. Until unless everyone is clear with any doubt you have. Okay. Till that time, you can, anytime you can ask me.
Okay.
You-
During
Rajesh ji,
class, anytime.
Good.
Yeah.
Rajesh ji, your native place is Kerala.
Yes, native place is Kerala.
Please bring rains while coming.
Already we have pre-monsoon showers, ma'am. It's always once I
no,
come
but
back, I'm sure there'll be heavy rains here also.
Bring heavy rains from Kerala.
Enjoy your holidays.
Thank you. Enjoy your holidays, Rajesh.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Wishing you all happy holidays.
Yes.
Thank you.
Please practice chess. As
Sure.
a chess trainer, I always want even I tell my students also, even during vacations, whenever you get time, please practice chess. Whenever you get time.
Okay.
So now also you are telling your students only.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a
Thank
good
you
day.
so much.